An Arrow to the Sun is the second full-length album from Lunar Tombfields, and this is a pandemic-formed band, and it was one that just basically focused on atmospheric and dark black metal that is, I guess I would say, was very quickly compared to Wolves in the Throne Room. Now, I didn't pick up on that when I wrote about it when I first started talking about it back in 2022, going through a list of, I thought, overlooked black metal records of the year. And I do hear the elements of depressive atmospheric black metal, but the Cascadian side of things wasn't as apparent to me. I don't spend a lot of time with Wolves in the Throne Room personally, but I can read that now. But for me, this is very much a French band in that style, and certainly one that incorporates, again, elements of depressive black metal, dark metal more so, and kind of makes an event out of each song in terms of drifting through some sort of expressive vocal moment or an interesting riff here and there. Now, I would say that the opener and some of the early pieces on this record really do the bulk of the work here in terms of building up a momentum and carrying the album on side A. I think there's a lot more interest on the first half of this record. So we'll cut to a song from that part and show you just the energy they kind of bring to the first half. Now, I don't know if they were, of course, French people love puns, and I don't know if the Amber Heard is meant to be a pun, but it is probably the best song on the album. It is the most interesting. It shows the oeuvre of the vocalist quite well, who's expanded his range quite a bit, and it also shows a lot of the finer guitar work on the record. Now, beyond that point, I think that that's sort of the peak of the record right there. And you'll note that that's kind of early in the running order because a lot of the pieces that come after it begin to feel redundant in style and what they have to say and the sort of emotion that they cast throughout on this atmospheric type of black metal. Now, I'd sort of preferred when the band worked in longer pieces because it felt like a more complete thought. It was an experience you would sit, start, and end, and it felt like it was more contiguous and sewn together in a more meaningful way. Whereas this record goes from piece to piece, and they're a bit more singular feeling, and I don't feel like they're all quite as impactful as one another. So there are some more clear standouts on here, and some experiments that maybe they just don't really accomplish anything in the scope of the album. Otherwise, I like the aesthetic of the thing. I think that the sound is a little bit finer than the first result, and I think that this band is still above average in this field, even though it is quite cluttered with a lot of bands. So if you're interested in atmospheric black metal, it might be your thing if you like a touch of dark metal and depressive and those kind of ideas in there too. So it won't be too alien for anyone who is interested in maybe a more modern style of French black metal with a little bit of an edge to it. So check it out this Friday when it releases, see if it's your thing, and read my review for more in-depth thoughts on particular songs and what works and what doesn't.